Right. It is... Ooh, hello. I was just looking at my computer, turn back, and there's chat. Hi, Dan. Hi, Leaky. It is redonkulously warm here. But I'm doing okay. She says, having forgot to put the other fan on. So we're not doing the Alice one. We've not got that yet. But there is today new bonus jobs. Muckingham Files Part 3. We have an aquarium and a submarine. So we're going to be doing those because I figured, you know, the sound of water might make me feel cooler. We'll see if it works. Right. Let me just switch over. Cool. So yeah, we're going to start with the aquarium. This is free. It is actually, it's not a title update. It's an actual, like, free DLC. You have to go and physically buy it. I was expecting it to do the whole, just download the title update, and I was surprised because I went in and checked, because, you know, if I hadn't checked...
another 20 to go.
Yeah, but that's like the best part of 2 years before you can say, ooh, 69. But thank you for the resub, Leaky, appreciate it. Also, if I lose my voice or sound funny, it's because I've got the tail end of the virus, and apparently I'm just full of phlegm, which made me really grumpy yesterday because it was hard to breathe. And also, I was just really grumpy yesterday. It was a very grumpy day. Today, I felt like it went better. I was productive at work, and I managed to get my shopping basket for tomorrow to exactly 50 quid. I was just pretty pleased with that, because exactly on amount. It's like the minimum basket charge is 50, so I did 50. Never works out like that, usually. Of course, I put random stuff in my basket because I don't really have enough, you know, to do a food shop, but I couldn't book in a weekend one, so I had to do Friday one, which means that we get my I'm not really hungry, but I want to buy food shopping, so hopefully we'll get some meals out of it. Oh, you got the new webcam! Yay! Great. Cool. Oh yeah, so we have the tiny text. I did submit feedback that the tiny text is terribly small, and could we please have a zoom? I know I can zoom on my TV, which I might do now. Just hang on. Where's the zoom button again? Live zoom. Okay. All right, there we go. Dr. Parapuzoia, Crab Bay Aquarium. How are you doing, wishy-washers? I don't know what you saw on the way over here, but the entire Crab Bay area has been hit by a freak wave, and that obviously includes our Marine Life Conservation Centre. Luckily, we are pre-warned by our friends at Caldera University's seismology department that something was happening, so we managed to get an evacuation program going for all the open-air tanks in the aquarium. You'll be pleased to know that none of the animals were harmed. In fact, we're up to whelks and starfish. Nevertheless, our swell friend made quite an impression. To be on the safe side, we need to sanitize the place before we reintroduce the animals and open up again. Thank you, Dr. P. Pizzoia. Well, I'd say that was pretty, you know, hi, Mr. Corners. Pretty sensible. We have no other jobs in progress. So there's no achievements related to the Muckingham, she says. There's no achievements related to Muckingham files. No, these ones are all Alice ones. We will get the DLC at some point. I'm waiting till I get paid, I'll be honest, before I start catching up with stuff. So strange seeing the centre like this. It's normally so full of life. Sorry, I always do the... I've forgotten which the set it to auto spray. But yes, did I say hi, Mr. Corners? But no, the free DLC never gives achievements. That's fine. In fact, you're one of the only people to see it like this in decades. There's always the first one is always right. Ooh. Ah, hang on, I'm missing some volume. I'm like, something's wrong. There we go. Over the time, it's had an incredibly checkered past. Couldn't hear my dings. I think the ASMR needs to be a little higher. Alright, let me know if that's good. Ah, so yeah, full of phlegm. Yeah. But yeah, Muckingham Files Part 3. So we've got, yeah, 2 new areas. An aquarium, which looks like it could be quite big, and a submarine. Fun fact, Parapozoia is an ancient shelled kraken. I am sure that that is completely intentional, and I appreciate you sharing the fun fact, because obviously I would be like, I'm sure there's a pun here, but I don't know what it is, and now we know what it is. So that's cool. But yeah, there's an Alice DLC. We have not bought that yet. It didn't go on any of the promo sites that I have access to. Not that we got the last ones anyway. It's 10% off with the Game Pass. It's just, I'm waiting till I get my first paycheck for this contracting job, freelance job, before I start buying stuff. Just because it's sensible and I have other bills to pay first. Kind of like the food. Well, you didn't have to read what Leaky said, but I like knowing what the pun is. Footprints. Is that me? Is that my footprints? No. Because they're not backwards footprints, and I walked into this backwards. This could almost be quite claustrophobic, where this, you know, IRL. Because it's an enclosed tunnel, and it's dark and dirty. But yeah, so there's an Alice in Wonderland DLC with 10 new achievements. We will at some point do that, but I was going to buy it for today actually, and then I saw the message in the Discord that Muckingham Files Part 3 was out, and I was like, you know what? Just do the free update. Yes, but are the people soaring up the mattress while you're also in the dank and dirty tunnel? And is there some random graffiti? Yes. I took you to a nice tunnel after that, without a weird mattress and odd stranger peoples. I've got to admit, the Cotswold one was much nicer. London is just full of weird, dank and dirty tunnels, apparently. To be fair, it would have been fine had it not been absolutely pissing it down the rain. There we go. I had thought that that one wasn't quite done. Well, I don't know, Leaky. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry you weren't in the fairy tunnel in the Cotswolds. Yeah, who would have thought the fairy tunnel? Who would have thought the Cotswold would be nicer than East London? I know, right? Yeah. Anyway, my head hurts, but it's because it's hot. And it's understandably hot because it's like 26.5 degrees in here. It was 27 outside, so I'm going to go with yay. I managed to keep some of the heat out. Not small, magical. I've probably got a really good photo somewhere. It's just the way the trees sort of like meet over the top. And when you're looking at it from like the road before you go into it, it really looks like the entrance to a fairy kingdom. People-sized tunnel. Fairies in my lore are people-sized. I read Shauna Maguire. We're not talking Tinkerbell here. We're talking, you know, Faye. We're talking, you know, Tamlin. If you are aware of that fandom. 13 items on my wish... Well, 12 were on my wish list were on sale earlier, so that's an improvement. Did I add something new? Did I add something? No, I didn't add anything new. Okay, well, something else has just gone on sale, or it did a recalculation. I don't know. I just wish there was a filter on your wish list to filter by those on sale. That would be the best, because it keeps on telling me they're on sale, and then I go to my wish list, and I've got like 100 items in my sodding wish list. So it's like, can I just filter by on sale? That would be a very useful thing to have. Go to your wish list, just show me everything on sale. Is it a thing on Steam? I don't know. My Steam wish list is about 6 items because it's generally stuff that people have said, can you wish list my game? And I'm like, sure. It doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. But I will wish list it because that helps you. There is a mystical, magical crab. Oh, I wonder if this place is related to that temple that we washed at the end of the main story. Probably not. Crab Bay Aquarium. Ah, rather than crabby. Oh, you can sort the wish list by discount percentage. I just settled for just show me everything that's on sale. I feel like it should be fairly easy to do considering you just gave me a notification saying that, you know, X items were on sale. Cool. Well, that looks a lot better and a lot less claustrophobic now. Now we're going to the next area that's claustrophobic. But yeah, it's just something I really wish they'd add. I like the wishlist feature. I really like the wishlist feature. I add tons of stuff to it. In fact, I think I use it more. I use it independently of the one on TA. I have different stuff on both. No worries. Have a good run. I mean, it's like 25 now outside, so it's getting cooler. Yeah. I'm going to try and get a walk in tomorrow. Either... Also, what day is it today? I think it's Thursday. It's Thursday today, right? I'm going to try and get a walk in tomorrow. I mean, link something or other... Oh no, links is just a folder on my thing. It is Thursday. I have lost a bit track because obviously I was ill and I'm now only working a 3-day week. So mostly, yeah. Things got a little confused. Yesterday sort of disappeared in itself. I spent most of the day waiting for it to be over. I don't know why. I just basically spent, you know, was watching... I binged... Oh god. I binged a new TV series, because of course I did. I just consume TV ridiculously. Because I've nearly finished it as well. Yeah, I found they made another Roswell show. So I don't know if anyone watched the original Roswell with Jason Bayer and I want to say Shirley Appleby. Anyway, it had the spoiler aliens, because it's Roswell, and it was very 90s, early aughts, and I finished watching The Handmaid's Tale, which then put me on to... It auto-played something else, which I watched, and I don't actually remember what that was. And then I watched My Lady Jane, which is hilarious. Loved it. And then, for some reason, it just... Because it likes to do autoplay, I haven't figured out to turn it off. But then it started playing Roswell. Except that it wasn't the Roswell that I was familiar with. They did another version, like... recently, like 2020's, like the last season just came out, you know, before the writer's strike type thing. Um, and yeah, so I've binged like 3 and a bit seasons of it. There's 4 seasons. Um, so yeah, I mean, Amazon is great at surfacing stuff, I have to say. Because obviously I'm using the Amazon video. Um, but yeah, so that was weird. So I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this with a, you know, pinch of salt type thing because I enjoyed the original. When it jumped the shark after like season 2 or something, but it was, you know, silly and distracting. Um, but they've done a different interpretation of it from the book. Well, no, they've done a different interpretation of it. It's based on a book. Okay, well, the first season was 2018, but one of the seasons was post-pandemic, so you know they weren't sequentially. Don't actually know, that sort of makes out. If what season 1 was like 2018, 19. Yeah, it's recent. That's still recent. The last season just came out this year or last year. That's still recent. Um, in my time, and anyway, half of it came out in the after times, half of it in the before times. But anyway, it's really silly, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna take this with a pinch of salt type thing. You know, I enjoyed the original, and then I got kind of engrossed in it, and I was playing that and playing more. I was watching that and playing more Oceanhorn, so, you know, Oceanhorn is now inextricably linked with random alien things. Um, but there was a point. Oh yeah, so I was watching it, and I was like, I recognize that voice in, I think it was the first season or something. And yeah, they got the actor that was the original Max to come back and play one of the soldiers. And then I just started, just at the end of season 3, I was like, I recognize that person. And they got Liz to come in and play the actress who played Liz to come in and play a different character. So that's hilarious. Plus they've been directing some stuff, some of the episodes. So that was a really cool, you know, Easter egg for people. Plus they mentioned Tess very briefly in like the first season. Tess was a character that wasn't in the books and was invented for the first TV show. So not in this one because not canon. I really like how they've, you know, stepped up the representation in this one, the latest version. I really like how they've stepped up the representation. Um, you know, they're not all just skinny white people in, you know, New Mexico. They've actually got people who emigrated from Mexico, and there's a lot of Spanish speaking, and they have, you know, the Navajo, the you know, Native American peoples, um, and you know, actual not cheesy representation. So that's pretty cool. Plus, like 2 of the main characters I'd recognized from other shows. So I was like, oh my god, it's Caleb and Tyler. Those 2 ecosystems never met before, but I really like the actors. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. But just, yeah, because I've not been, you know, I can just, yeah, yesterday just basically binged an entire season. Because, yeah, there's absolutely nothing, you know, 3 of the jobs that the head recruiters, you know, put my profile forward just disappeared. Either, you know, they're on pause, or no, 4 on pause, or you know, I came in too late in the game despite being like, you know, there for the beginning. They just didn't give feedback quick enough, or you know, they've gone a different direction before even talking to me. So another reason I was grumpy yesterday. But anyway, I spent all today fixing tests because they've been broken for like 3 months, and that bugs me because how can I tell if I've broken something if the tests don't work? So the tests now work, so I have some confidence that things aren't broken. Not the best confidence, I have to say, because, you know, I'm not certain that everything's being tested and I don't know how everything works, but, you know, I am doing my best not to break things, and to be fair, the first task is do a mobile view for a page. I can manage that. It's a really long page, which probably explains why it doesn't work very well on mobile. But that's next week's job. Should be fun. Or at least, you know, diverting. I could have watched the entirety of season 4 today if I'd have done that whilst, you know, fixing the tests, but I was enjoying the sound of silence a little bit. And then, yeah, played a chunk of Oceanhorn. Stuck on something, not quite sure whether it's I just haven't understand the mechanics or I'm missing something. I don't think the game is broken. I think it's very much either I don't understand the mechanics or I've missed something. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'm hoping these are plastic starfish. And not an actual starfish that got covered in goo. For all day, that is ridiculous. That's not sustainable. That should have been split up better. All day calls are not the answer. That's bad project management, I'm sorry. Even neurotypical people would have a hard time with that. It would take you like 3 weeks to recover from that. Well, it would take me that long. You know, no wonder you're exhausted. That's just not a sustainable thing. You know, you don't have any time to pass it. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know that they're in need of engineering management and direction, but sadly, they didn't want me to help with that one. Sounds like a plastic swimming pool, I have to say. But yes, I really hope that these are plastic starfish. Or, you know, not real ones, because I don't think I should be power washing actual animals. That doesn't seem very humane. yeah, so I'm gonna try to do a walk tomorrow if it's not too hot in the morning. Or I might try and do an evening one if it is too hot in the morning. I should really get out, basically. Because I have been stuck in this flat for a little while, and technically I'm no longer contagious. And outside is fine. Just avoid breathing on people, right? Either which way, I should get some air. I'd say fresh air, but it's London. And then I should probably go through my gigantic wodge of emails that I have to look at and reply to. Maybe I'll file them, and I shall obviously finish binging Roswell, New Mexico. Whilst doing that, I fell off. You've been so tired you couldn't watch your comfort show. I mean, I've been so done in that I have been seriously having issues just deciding what to play and read. So, I get it. This is why I just watched whatever random crap Amazon suggested. Though, to be fair, they've not been bad random crap. And I really did enjoy My Lady Jane. Plus, I got some historical knowledge in me. Based on the true story of Lady Jane Grey, who was queen for about 9 days, I think. Following the death of the boy king. The Crab Bay Marine Life Conservation Centre was opened in 1904 by local benefactor Philanthrop. Legend had it that it was inspired by his tearful daughter, who found a 5-legged crab on the beach and demanded something be done. So he made a zoo for them? Whatever the real reason, Phil's money kept the place going for the first 20 years or so. What is your comfort show, Leaky? Share with the audience. I feel like I should know, but we talk about lots of TV, and I don't think I've specifically asked you what your comfort show is. Mine used to be Grey's Anatomy, and a bunch of, films that I like to rewatch, but I think when you don't even have, you can't even watch your comfort show, yeah, that is a bad sign. So, yeah. I understand, because I've not been able to, go back to Grey's, though I think I did watch it recently. But I mean, there's 30 odd seasons of the damn thing, so it really takes up time. Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, I'm still about halfway through that. I keep going back to it and then jumping out of it on random ones. For no reason other than I got distracted by something. Can't even remember where I'm up to at the moment. But that is a fun show. There's seahorses in here. These ones are live. They're floating around. What things? Must have been quite claustrophobic. Though, mind you, I guess they might be used to the darker sea. really helping me cool down, but it is a very relaxing game. But yeah, we will get to the paid DLC at some point. Just not this month. Bluey! Yeah, Bluey's good. I still haven't watched all of the Bluey in order, but I think I've seen pretty much every single episode through bits on TikTok. But I do own a Disney Plus subscription, so I can, legally watch it. I haven't given up my streaming services yet. I cancelled a few unnecessary things that I was paying for, like Discord. That just sort of rolled over and I kind of just neglected to cancel it. And I paused my Audible for now because I have enough books that I haven't listened to. I do not need more credits. And then, if there is a sale or whatever, you can always get ad hoc ones. But yeah. Bluey's on iPlayer too. Cool. I didn't know that. I only knew it was on Disney Plus. I didn't realise it. Put it on iPlayer as well. That's good. My life is categorized by the number of abandoned shows. And I do appreciate all the services that do the good job of remembering where I got up to, if I ever go back to them. I do not like the ones that don't remember. It makes it tricky. They're sealed in the walls and didn't therefore get dirty. The clownfish and the seahorses and stuff. Then how do they get fed? And how does the water get cleaned? Unless there's some sort of filtration thing in there and like a closed circuit food thingy. There's a gnome! I found a gnome. Apparently there's one hidden in every single level. I think we found most of them while we're doing the story. Angelfish and clownfish. And seahorses. And I'm not quite sure what they are. Because these ones are angelfish. Pretty is what they are, I guess. Doing Alice DLC is going to be wonderfully mind-bendingly bizarre. I just realized I wasn't wearing my purple. Not that you can tell. Do I have a skin for this thing? I don't think you can select the skins. Seems sort of vaguely ironic cleaning up the ocean. Is also annoying. They seem to lose watch progress even when you're paying for an active subscription, because you just haven't watched it in a while. I mean, mostly I usually binge stuff, but sometimes, you know, either it's not all out or, you know, I get distracted by something. No, it's bigger. It's one of those take your picture in front of it things. Oh, there's still more through that door. It's like those things you used to do when you were at school, where you put the wax crayons and then you'd colour over it in black, and then you'd scrape off the black in a pattern, and it would make all kinds of pretty. I still have to own those. Looks like a funny jellyfish. How was everyone else's weeks gone? Aside from Leaky, who had exhausting meetings. Ah, there's no one else here. Okay. No worries. We are just enjoying power washing an aquarium. Try and pick out some puzzle games for the weekend. Unfortunately, Phil went bust in 1927 and custodianship of the main Marine Life Centre was transferred to our local entrepreneur Wilberforce Thrust. It appears from looking through historical financial transactions that Thrust's primary interest was in making quick buck from selling the centre's prize exhibits. Whoa! Big interest disappeared along with the turtles, and the centre quickly went into decline. Don't sell the wildlife, mate! And the ocean life. Please ignore the spam. Sorrybot gets to it, but I need to increase the delay on the messages appearing on the screen. I'm going to add that to my to-do list because last time I forgot. Did have a look into, because I went in there and I had a look to see if I could filter out any of the messages, which I can't. I forgot to increase the delay while I was in there. Yeah, but I tried to see if I could do that, and because I'm using Rainmaker, it doesn't have any settings to do that. But then, you know, if I posted anything that I wanted to be on stream and had a link, it would ignore those. So I think my solution is, Sorrybot's doing well, so just increase its delay a bit. Though I don't know how long the actual delay is. I was like, there has to be a tiny little bit that I've missed. Oh, it's a gigantic warbit. So. Looks like there's dirt on just everything. Oh, can I buy a glass cleaner? It might go a little faster. No, no, I can't. Maybe that's what what's the door is for, so I can get to the other side. Yeah, because that's all got to be cleaned as well then. That's why it just looks like crap. Because it needs to be cleaned on both sides. Hi, Lady McGree. New PowerWash levels today. Muckingham Files DLC. Part 3. Free. How are you doing? Yeah, I saw. And it's also like their anniversary as well. An anniversary. Either which way, it's a hugely popular, hugely successful game that has no right to be as good as it is. Damn it. Well, also hit on a winner. Need to start devaluing. The dings are very satisfying. Sorry, I'm zoning out cleaning and then I'm like, oh, the purple chat moved. I should read. Yeah. Oh, you're back. Thank you for the resub, everyone. Oh. Percy and his grandma. Aha. It's Percy the big doggo. Percy is small. And he's a fluffball. Yeah. Oops. Well, no worries, Leaky. Have a good look. Woo. As it's tough in 1953, at its trough. The Marine Life Conservation Centre housed nothing more than 7 anemone and an angry turtle. An angry turbot. Following Wilberforce Thrust's absconsion later that year, ownership transferred to a local trust. I think a turbot is like a brown fish, sort of medium small and sort of thing. The same trust still something now. Same trust still own it to this day. Ah, there's a tide line. Right, this is only 2/3 done. I'm going to take a quick break, have a stretch, get some more hydration, poke the giant helmet, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I got a nice pup. Hi, Jessie. Me, maybe. It's now 27 in here. It's supposed to get cooler when it's darker, not hotter. You finished your race. Now there's 14. It was 12 when I switched the Xbox on, and it was 13 at the beginning of the stream. Now it's 14. And it'll pass that for a little while and then probably come back and say 15 items on sale. They're not new on sale, it's just really bad at filtering. The giant clam opens. Which level is this? This is the first one in the Muckingham Tales Part 3, which came out today. This is not Alice. This is the aquarium. Seeing very, very vaguely rude-looking coral, or just me. Today, the Sea Life Centre has 14 marine species, all of which are indigenous to the area and are to some extent endangered. Are they endangered because you keep dropping them? Well, strictly speaking, today the centre houses over one extremely proficient PowerWasher, but you know what I mean. Well, no, because there's fish and seahorses in the enclosed tanks, so there's at least 3 species of fish there. Jellyfish, how you doing? I'm assuming it is hot over the channel. It is hot here. It makes me grumpy. It's hot everywhere. It is not hot everywhere. Because otherwise the ice caps would melt and we'd be drowned. I am feeling a bit better. I am full of phlegm, which is disgusting. But it's like 27 inside. So, you know, that's hot for me. But it's not too bad. It's always... The first heat is the worst one for me. The second heat, which is kind of like second breakfast, is, although it usually gets hotter, I can cope with it better because I've already had first heat. If that made sense to anyone, I'm impressed. But I know what I mean. And I thought maybe power washing something would make me feel cooler. The fans are making me feel cooler. The power wash is just kind of fun. It's 30? Well, I mean, that's okay, Dan. No one does, really. It's 30 in your office. Leaky, you need to get out of your office. Or open a window, or get some sort of fan in there. But definitely, you know, not be in that room that is that hot. Isn't Brie lighter than Camembert? Surely it's the other way around. You have a ceiling fan, there's only so much you can do. But still, 30 degrees is just ouch. Yeah, once the inside starts hitting above 28, it's unbearable inside for me. Last year I got quite a good thing where I remember to get up early enough to close the windows and the curtains to try and block out the worst of the heat, but it did sort of still feel like I was living in an oven. you're not having to still work. Is this just where your streaming PC, or your PC is that you watch, or your devices that you watched? Twitch streams with. I mean, you get enough game out of it, Jesse, that it's worth the full price. I still haven't finished that. I got stuck and my brain melted. I should go back to that. Or maybe not quite yet. Wait till after the heat wave. Some games just don't go on sale. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're short of games. You just die of like 400 of them or something. Like a wiggly sea here. Oh, interesting. Nowhere profit. It sounds cool. Also, one of the games that I was eyeing up at the Xbox showcase last month is out now, which I'm pleasantly surprised that it's not AAA price. I don't think it's a AAA game, a AAA studio, but I was expecting, because it was one of the first games at the showcase, or a showcase that I watched. Maybe it wasn't the Xbox one. It was definitely one of the first games at a showcase. And it's coming out next week, so that's good. This week, sometime in the next 2 weeks. I believe it's called Nobody Wants to Die. It looks fun. Well, I mean, it looked really, really interesting and like slightly different from what I usually play, but also detective-y. That just looked like two dinosaurs yelling at each other, the moss left on this rock. But I was pointing with my water cannon, so it sort of made them go away. Oops. dirty. Right, what's left? And then we've got ocean room ceiling whale. I can't find ocean room vents. Ah. Diving helmet side view ports. Ah, hang on. So I think that was in here. Yeah. And then there's literally just a tube coral in the shallows, wherever the shallows is. Shallows. There we go. Clean. It took 2.5 hours. And it looked dire. It's fun in that room. Oh, sorry, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. You've got 301 games that you doved. What all on the wish list is on sale? I understand the words, I don't understand the question. Dr. Parapozoia. Wow, you don't mess about, do you? It's quite amazing to see it gleaming like this. You've done a fantastic job. I can't wait to get the animals back in and get the place buzzing again. It's amazing how rapidly the microflora and fauna establish themselves in our marine life centre. No one's ever been able to properly explain the process. Many thanks. My wish list has 14 items on sale. What are they? I don't know because I can't filter by what's on sale. And some of it includes, like, you know, the 10% off Game Pass sometimes, I think. What do we reckon? Time to clean the submarine? We'll go in and have a look how big the submarine is. If it's gigantic, we'll leave it for a different day. Alright, I have to do my live zoom so I can read that. PowerWash services. Miliolida, PhD. On behalf of everyone here at Caldera University's Marine Biology Department, a huge thank you for helping us out. Investigations into the recent seismic activity have left the university's research submarine rowdy sea life coated in benthic substrate and on the verge of seizing up. It's gotten pretty interesting on the Caldera County coastline since Rushless started rambling, and the recent offshore seismic activity gave us an exciting opportunity to see how the habitats react in real time. I don't know if you're aware, but our waters boast a unique and sensitive ecosystem found nowhere else on Earth, and we have to do all we can to protect it. Unfortunately, our affirmative action has taken out of poor Rowdy, who now looks like the egg of some gigantic sea monster, assuming sea monsters are indeed egg-laying. Millie. Yeah, I have like 100 things on my wish list. Let's see how big this job is, and then we can have a quick peek at my wish list. But just because it's on my wish list doesn't necessarily mean that I want to buy it. Sometimes it's just, oh, that looks interesting, and I haven't looked it up. I need to curate it, but I think there's like 100 things on there. Oh, it's the same dock that we did the little boat thing. Go on then. We can do this. Thanks again for your help. Yeah, my wish list needs a what's on sale filter. Yeah, I need to curate my wish list on TA and on Xbox, but I haven't done that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. There's not many people who'd be willing to wash a sub coated in the discharge of hundreds of species of invertebrates. As long as I don't have to touch it, we're good. You know much about the biology of marine invertebrates? I do not. I would like to learn, please. Yeah, we can get these two done, and then that'll be Muckingham Files Part 3 completed. They're a fascinating bunch. And then we'll do the Alice at some point. But yeah, no, my wish list has a lot of stuff on. But yeah, I think it's gotten over 100. Some stuff's in Game Pass and it's just on my sale, on my list in case there's a good sale. Some stuff is, you know, it looks interesting. Some stuff is future stuff that looks interesting. And there's some DLC on there. But yeah, the one on TA and the one on Xbox do not match up as yet. There's some crossover. But yeah, it needs a good curate. But yeah, I can't just look at it and go, oh, 14 items and see them all. You have to scroll the entire list, and that count is almost inevitably wrong, seeing as it says 12 and then 13 and then 14 over the past couple of hours since I turned on my Xbox. When I turned it on, it told me I had 12. Beginning of the stream, it told me I had 13. And then the one that you obviously saw said 14. So, you know. There are a number of items that may or not equate to 14% of my wish list. TA has a lot of unreleased stuff that I want to be alerted. For reasons that are poorly understood, the bedrock around the slope of Rushless are extraordinarily fertile. Organisms of all kinds grow with remarkable rapidity and are farmed worldwide for their extraordinary limb length. Now I'm just thinking of that long-legged fish with a crayon from some game.
Find some fun stuff to keep cool and relax.
Ooh. Aww. Thank you, Jessie. That's really generous of you, thank you. Today's definitely turning out better than yesterday was. Yesterday I was in such a grump. I just felt like everything was going wrong and bad mood. Today things have been going a bit better. I'm inclined to blame the heat from yesterday. The reason to put me in such a grump. Also possibly some sort of sensory overwhelm from the illness as well. But thank you very much. I will do that. Top of my list is the Alice DLC. the Alice for this, and then we've got another stream lined up when I can make up my mind what I'm going to stream, or maybe 2, because I think there's like 10 achievements, so it might be at least 2 streams. But thank you, appreciate that. I shall have a look and see what's on sale, and what will make the most delightful use of your generous gift. This has weird grabby arms. Hmm? 5 levels, definitely 2 streams. Cool. Thank you. I saw there were 10 achievements. I'm seeing bits of the levels on the Future Lab stream. But yeah, I haven't got around to doing that. There's also a Little to the Left DLC as well. Seeing Stars. But we might see what games are on the relevant DLCs. I'll have to admit that besides loading it up to do a Game Pass quest, I haven't really looked note as to what the new DLC entitles. I usually give it a few weeks if I don't need to play it immediately to sort of settle down and get patched. Wow! 100 joules. Yowza! That is large. Well, then I will have to get that and then slowly progress through it. I still haven't quite finished the main game. There's some... I've got like one solution left in one puzzle purposefully. And I think stacking one or something. Because when I was doing it, I was only targeting specific ratioed achievements, so... Well, definitely have an excuse tomorrow for looking at my wish list and going, right, why is that on there? Is it actually the game I thought it was? Should it be on there? Do I buy it? And then I can make some lists. I like making lists. I will soon be able to, you know, break even for the month, but I need to get paid for the contract, which I don't know when that's going to come through. But the first thing I do want to do when I get paid is buy more baby stuff for my friend. Woo! I was rolling off the thing there. Our most favourite resident is probably the rushless Nautilus. Nautilus longipedes. This amazing cephalopod is related to squid and octopi, but shells like the now extinct ammonites. Ammonites. It's like anemones. I can never say it right. The rushless Nautilus has a unique and beautiful pearlescence and can travel at remarkable speeds despite tiny body and 20-foot long tentacles. 20 foot long! The Nautilus produced the ink you see on the viewing window. Well, I've mostly cleaned off the viewing windows and it all looks the same green gunk to me. 20 feet. That is like... three and a half leakies. Possibly 3 leakies. I can't do maths. Just shy of 3 leakies. Just over 3 leakies. Don't do feet maths. Yeah, I think it was just shy of 3 leakies. No, we don't measure in spiders. Well, about 3 doors tall. 3 doors long. Wow. The height of 3 doors. You measure stuff in doors, and apparently leakies. But yeah. You went straight to spiders, but I mean 20 feet is also 10 humans. Or 5 dogs. So if I go up... we're going to use the Joe. Remember, you have an extra long extension. Which we always forget until Jessie reminds us. So I've forgotten enough times that it's now embedded in my head. It's now the silly anecdote I tell when people are playing PowerWash. I'm like, I always forget I have the extension thing when I'm struggling to reach the stuff. And then my friend always reminds me that there's an extension thing. There's probably squid ink inside based off the fact that this is vents. So we're just going to add some water to this. Also unique to our coastline is the Muckingham sea marrow. Is that like a sea cucumber? The world's largest member of the sea cucumber family. See? Just answering my own questions here. Like its cousins, it's vitally important to the ecosystem. I'm not sure I appreciate the importance of a sea marrow. It absorbs organic matter and poops out almost pure substrate, helping to protect against algae blooms. Nice. The sandy deposits you can see on the subs hatch from the sea marrow. I cleaned it up already. I have an extension embedded in my head. Oh, yeah, camera view. I'm sure that was fun. No, I don't want it on. No, I want stubby gun. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where auto modders put stuff. Okay, cool. It's been banned. Nope, that was a different one. To go click on something. Automod did a thing and it held it, but then I couldn't find the user to then ban them, so I had to do it the other way around. But at least it didn't go on the chat, which is an improvement. See, now there's 15 items on my wish list. It will keep going up. It's funny. More? Oh, yes, the wish list. Yeah, it will keep on doing that. Should we take bets on whether it'll say 16 before we reach the end of the stream? Because it seems to be changing, or whether it's just going to be like every, hour or so, and we're nearly done-ish. Lastly, it would be remiss not to mention my absolute fave, the Carter County Barnacle. While they look a bit like snails, barnacles are essentially crabs that can't be bothered to run about for food. Instead, they latch themselves onto something and use their legs to walk food into their mouths. Instead. Ooh, 2 insteads. That missed QA. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Who wouldn't want that for life? I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Many empty barnacle shells can be found all over Wing's main fuselage. Hashtag crabs. Installed? What's installed? Oh, this free DLC. I'm guessing. With no other context, that's my guess. What were you trying to say? If you came out with installed and that wasn't it. I mean, I remember I was writing a message to Leaky the other day and I had half a sentence. My phone rang and then I went back and looked at my sentence and I'm like, I have no idea what I meant to write there. So I just, went ... and then said exactly that because the first half of the sentence was decent and maybe it would prompt something, but yeah, just completely had no idea because I was typing it. Then my train of thought was in my active brain, and then yeah, it has been a day. It's been a week. It's been a month. It's been a year. all of those time periods are just, yeah. It's been 7 hours and 15 days. Honestly, I don't actually know any more lyrics. Isn't it 17 hours and 15 days? Well, 525,600 minutes. Or it's been 95 years. I don't know. There's a lot of things that have, you know, time. Ah, since you took your love away. Ah. It's been a lot longer than that, mate. Looks like it's got a hoover stuck to its bum. It's been so... Nope, I'm just not getting the tune. That's great. It's not going to get stuck in my head. You only recently learned that it was a cover version. What are you playing that you're taking a picture of a cat using the letter tray? Little kitty, big city? Oh, animal shelter simulator. Okay. Huh. Conning tower hinge. What the F is a conning tower? Yeah. Front window frame propeller brackets and underside. There we go, and an underside hatch port. It's not surprising because it's underneath the little wibbly thing. Is there something I can stand on? There we go. God, that was a pain just to get that last bit. Right, that one took a lot less time, 3/4 of an hour. Thank you. Submarine looks as clean as a whistle. If whistles indeed be clean, I would have thought they'd be half bound by spittle. All the best, and let me know if you require a written form of recommendation. Your work is top notch. Excellent. 190 stars. We have done the bonus jobs for Muckingham Files Part 2. We did the bonus jobs for Part 3 previously, and Part 1, and the odd jobs. There were 4 of them that originally came with the game. So, this one, Part 3, just came out today, and it says new. It's not new. There is nothing new. I don't believe. It always says new on there. And then we've got Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which we haven't bought. Well, we could buy now. We're not going to play it today. And I'm not going to get my details up. So yeah, list 145. See, this is why it's like 10% of the items on my wish list are on sale. But I have 145 items in there, so yeah. Right, I'm gonna end here. I'll be back on Saturday, hopefully feeling much better and not gonna fall asleep during my stream. Had to edit out like half an hour of that stream on YouTube just so there wasn't, my Xbox slowly deciding it was going to turn off. We'll pick out some puzzles Saturday. It's quite good for puzzles, as long as my brain's not having a fit. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thank you so much too. Let me just check Leaky and Havor for the resubs, and Jessie for the very generous gift so I can buy myself some new games. To add to my tower appreciation, and also so I can do some streams. Yes, I will pick some ones that will be good for streams. That'll be my criteria, along with picking up the 2 DLCs. But yeah. Thank you very much for being here. And I need to go. Deflem myself. Yes, Joe, that's charming language there. But yeah, it's been very chill power washing with you all. Chill to the point where I was like, oh, I feel a bit snoozy. She's just really shitty. I have been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK, and I'll catch you later. Bye.